Hi, so I've bought myself a new canister filter and it's a Fluval 307, and I thought I'd just bring you along because people like to see what they're about and the setup of it and all that sort of thing. So I've taken it apart and I've opened it all up and I've rinsed all the bits and I've taken them all out of the bags and all that sort of thing, and I just thought I'd show you because I'm excited to plug it in and use it. I have got an old big giant bucket filter which I'm going to use as a backup one just in case, because it's always good to have a backup one, but this is a newer one. It's more compact and it does everything that it says on the box, hopefully, you know. Anyway, here we go. So in one side there's sponge filters like this, so there's a fine and a coarse. So there's a coarse one on the back and there's a fine one on the other side, and that goes in there. And then on this side is the media sort of thing. So here we go. I'll just pull this out and I'll just show you. Now it's got these nice neat little boxes that it all sits in. Let me just hang on a minute. So they all sit together and there's a little tab in the middle which you can lift it up with, but you can pull them out separately so that there's one from the other. So this is the sponges and the it's a phosphate extractor on the top sponge, and inside, bear with me, inside is the charcoal. So there's two bags of charcoal, one on either side, and then this little mat that sits on the top that absorbs the phosphates out of the water. I've got a lot of plants in there, so whether I keep the phosphate thing in there or not is a different matter, because plants actually like a bit of phosphate. But not lots. Anyway, so then we got the mechanical. So we got the these are like a ceramic ring. I'll probably change these out for some different media that's got more holes in and more surface area, because at the minute these ones I'm not an overly big fan of them. And then on the bottom there's two sponges. There's one that's a fine one which will take out the any of the muck, and then there's a coarse one in the bottom, a big thick coarse one in the bottom. So that's the this side of the filter, and it all slots together like that. Very easy to put together, simple like that. And that sits in this side, there we go, like that. So the water comes in, goes through the filter, through the sponges, and then comes up through these ones, so that the water's clearish when it gets to the media in the middle, and it's got surface area, so the bacteria will build up on that, and then the water will bubble up through and it will go through the carbon, which will extract any fine particles through this phosphate mat, and then come back out and go back into the actual tank. And there's a little cover that goes over the top there, and then one of these hose things will come out, and it'll come back out and go back into the actual tank. The lid is like this, and it's got clip sides so that we can hook these in like this. It shuts it, it's nice and tight. The same on the other side. So it's clipped together, and then I've got to put the top in and all the rest of the stuff that goes with it. So these are the valves that you put the hoses onto, and I've just clipped them into place, so it just slots in like that. It's very good. It's nice, it's tidy. And then there's one here that releases the water, so when it's up it locks it, water stays in the pipes, doesn't get released into the actual pump, and then when you push it down, releases the water into the pump. So it comes with a rubber gasket which I've just fitted around the edge here. This little bougie, it's got a nice tight fit on it. So there's my new flue valve all set up. I've had to pull the handle up a quarter of the way. You can see there, and that controls the flow of the water. But if I put it on full, it's massively like a massive wave coming out. Anyway, it's there. That's the outflow. The inflow is down there. I've had to put a sponge around it because I've got baby fish, baby bristlenose, and they'll get sucked up otherwise, so that's why that's there. My heater's here, so the outflow runs over the top of the heater, and because I had 3 sponge filters in before, I've taken the sponge filters out. The clarity will come as soon as the pumps sorted it out, all the sediment and everything in the middle in the water. It'll sort it all out anyway. But whereas I had 3 sponge filters, I've now got 3 air stones. So 1, 2, the third one's in the corner over the far side. Just got to clear up all the rubbish and everything. I have got a new brick cave system in the corner there, which is for the plecos. There's 2 bricks together with holes in there, like a engineering brick with big holes, and that's enough room for the male bristlenose plec to get into and the female to spawn, and hopefully that'll work, because at the minute he's in these 2 which are broken bricks, and they're the same sort of thing, but they're up the other way, and he's got actually a clutch of spawn in there, and there's a load of spawn that are swimming free. I've got, as I say, I've got my heater there, and I've got a new digital thermometer, so it's 27 degrees in there, and the water's flowing around, so it's heating it all. I've got 2 like little racks that have got moss growing on them that I've clipped in place, one there and one over there. I just thought it'd be nice for the Corydoras, and they like to sort of perch up on places. I've got all my rocks and everything, and shells and things like that, and I've got my courgette there for the fish. There's 2 lumps of courgette, another one down this end. I've got some dwarf hairgrass here. There's a few clumps of it around. I split it, so there's like 4 clumps, and then I've got a load of another grass-like one that I've split up and moved that around as well. I'm very happy with my tank. It's looking really nice. My glass cleaner's on the front here, and this just gets rid of the sediment and stuff off the glass. I'm still having to scrape different things, so down the bottom I've still got a bit of algae to scrape off there, but I'm really pleased with how the fish tank's looking. I've just got to scoop out any bits of moss that are floating about and things like that, but like I say, it's coming on really, really nice, and all the plants are looking really good. There's already, see this at the back there, there's a baby bristlenose catfish that's out of the first clutch. There is a lot of sediment in the water, but as I say, it won't take long and it'll soon clear. I've got new baby, they didn't breed in here, but I've got baby Corydoras black ones, Venezuelan black. There's one down here, I don't know if you can see it, there it is, you can just about see it at the back there. There's 5 altogether. I can only really count 4 first thing in the morning, but they seem to be doing well, and they seem to be staying in towards the back where they've got more cover. And yeah, fish tank's coming on a treat. It's looking really, really nice, and it's how I kind of want it to be. There's a lot of airflow in there, and I might tune that down a bit, just we'll see. Anyway, see how it goes, but for now I'm very pleased with how it's looking, and the flow's really good and the temperature's good, and yeah, I'm pleased. There we go, my fish tank all fully set up. I have topped it up a little bit more. I might top it up a bit more still. I've got 4 inches up at the top here. I might bring it up another sort of to about here. I like to leave a bit, because a bit of space, because the tank's so big. It's on an 8-foot worktop, and then it's got a load of planks that support it, and then and they're 1 inch thick, and then it's sitting on a 6-foot worktop as well. But the tank itself is really heavy, so I just like to keep the weight down by not putting too much water in. Anyway, hope everyone's well. This is my fish tank at home, and it's got all my breeding fish in, my barbs and everything that go in the ponds. All the fish go in the ponds in the summertime, and they all come back home and they go in here in the winter time. Cheers.